You are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business. Tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. Welcome back, everybody. I am here today to address the elephant in the room, and that is why your marketing isn't leading to more sales success. And the truth is, my friends, if you're a marketer, you are tarred by an unfavorable brush, because when people invest dollars for marketing, they are expecting sales. And when you have great marketing that doesn't equal sales, you may find yourself on the firing squad or simply finding your contracts not renewed. And it is not a fair brush by any means. It is a reality that you must plan for and improve upon and overcome if you want to see survivability in your business and get off the roller coaster of a client not retaining your services. Because here's the simple truth. Business and marketing and sales are connected, but they are not one and the same. And most of our buyers, in this case, most of us are B2B client growth, they have an expectation that marketing will deliver sales. And sales is who you are selling to. Sales teams, people who want revenue, people who want client growth, and it is always about the money. Do not mistake this. We want money to move hands at a greater speed, a greater frequency, and ideally for as little dollars as we can, which means we retain more profit as the buyer. So I want to take you through right now 4 things that you need to reflect upon and look at with fresh eyes if you want to see more sales, more retained business, and greater impact with your marketing efforts. The first thing is to recognize that too much focus on the window dressing and on the creative element or on the process of creativity is just noise to your buyer. I remember early in my career, I started in the world of marketing, but I understood one thing most of my peers to this day in marketing still don't understand. You're not selling to another marketing person. You are selling to somebody who is in sales, who wants ROI and more money. And so if you are stuck really focusing on the creative and selling creativity for the sake of creativity, you will be in trouble because you're not speaking a language that people will invest and put their dollars towards. What that means is that you need to remember what the buyer wants. It always comes back to the buyer. If your business is the buyer, you need to understand what they are in turn trying to sell and who your client's buyer is. Because movement is the goal of marketing. That's it. Not sales, but in order to create movement, you've got to understand the buyer for the person who is your client and the person who is the buyer for your client. Because enough of the window dressing. I always used to say, people, it's why I got kicked out of the marketing team in the first place, was I said, it has to be more than creative. It has to be more than pretty. It has to be more than sizzly. Because truthfully, that is a given. It's not the thing I'm buying. I'm buying the impact of that sizzle, the impact of the style, the impact of the creativity. But if it is not having impact, I feel burned by the dollars wasted. And that's why so many people don't see renewed clients in the marketing space. So I want you to recognize what your buyer wants. It is not window dressing. It is really about understanding how to move the problem to a result. And so I want you to change your lens and change the lens to put it on a thinking cap of what does the other side need to hear, feel, see, and experience that solves a problem and creates better results. Are you guaranteeing them? No, your job is movement. But if you don't move, you will never get sales. And it is up to sales teams to close and convert, and for teams of sales and marketing to be on the same page, because you are in sequence of each other's, whether you like it or not. And build bridges is key. And that's honestly one of the reasons why clients hire me, because I have a very strong marketing brain and a very strong sales track record. I understand sales. I understand how we're focusing on movement. And as you hear here all the time on the podcast, we are focusing on changing the conversation around the buyer. That's where the money moves. And that's what matters. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that we promise unicorns too often. We're in the la la land, the pie in the sky, this utopian dream. And it's not real enough to the buyer, the business you're selling to, or to the client who is the ultimate customer. Vague doesn't sell. Utopian, pie in the sky, unicorns are interesting, but don't move money. And so you need to recognize that everything, and this is as brass tacks as we get, everything comes back to money. Everything. There are 3 drivers every business is built around to be successful: health, spirit, and money. And even the last of these 3, the one who is last man standing, is always money. Because money is about choice, money is about exchange, money is about value creation. And so stop selling a unicorn. Your clients didn't Google a unicorn. They Googled something very specific, a tangible result. And here's what my coach has said to me many years ago. It stuck with me to this day. When you are selling something creative, it has to have a tangible physical result. You have to be able to see, touch, or experience it, or nothing will move. So you have to always dial it back. I see so many businesses fail because they're trying to sell purpose, transformation, a whole thing that is so far away, so cosmic in its nature. And it's not that I don't want that. I just don't understand it. I couldn't pick it off the shelf, and therefore there's no urgency. And without urgency, movement is a very long runway. And most of that runway is so long, you'll go broke on it. I don't want that for you. So I need you to get out of the pie in the sky, utopian unicorn, selling something intangible, and make it real. Simple. You need to communicate in a language of a 5-year grade student or less. Does it say what it is clearly doing? Does it create a result I would pay for? And can I understand the bridge of the transformation? And I'm going to use that word with a very big asterisk. The journey between is what I mean. You've got to be able to move somebody from the current to the future in as few steps as possible, with as much support as you can, in a most direct path as possible. The third thing is that you spend way too much focus on things that don't matter. If you spend a disproportionate amount of time fighting tech, building complicated sales pages, funnels, proposals, slide decks, and you are in control of the brand assets, let's just be clear, that's not the thing that makes the decision. It's noise. It's right back to number 1. And window dressing. I will tell you whether a deal is closed or whether a deal is not, and that is essentially just a decision. I don't care what the outcome is, but my goal is always to get to a decision, is not on the window dressing. It is on the delivery of the offer. And the delivery of the offer can be done without complicated tech, without stupid sales pages and complicated funnels. Seriously, a conversation, human to human, is the fastest thing that will move money. So if you are spending all of your time in trying to figure out the right information or the right tech, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You need to get out of your headspace and into the real market and speak to real people who will guide you to a conversation where an offer can be made faster than all of that crap. So I am coming to take you to business church, my friends. You need to remember that sales is a transaction when opportunity and investment has a gap and we lead a conversation and make an offer. Movement is the key. Stop making it more complex and focusing on the right information in a place that truly nothing really moves because you got a great sales page. I moved because the argument was compelling, the result was there, and truthfully, I'd rather have a phone call, an email, direct communication, DM, something in that human way, and stop feeling like a number. The fourth piece of this, of why your marketing isn't creating results and you're being judged by sales metrics, is that you're building your programs, offers, and storylines in a vacuum. You're guessing the structure of the program, you're guessing the language, you're guessing theoretic numbers of what somebody will pay for it, and you're asking people in the room of enlightenment. You're asking other people in your organization, you're asking your peers in the world of marketing, you're going to study the competitor landscape. You're in the wrong room. Get out of the vacuum. Go find the buyer in the dark. They're not looking for unicorns and sparkly and sizzle. They're looking for substantive answers to a problem that's specific, tangible, and short-term ROI. Will it get me what I want? You cannot get clear without talking to a potential buyer. And you've got to decide if the person you're speaking to is someone you want to serve and you want to get feedback, direct, word per word, verbatim, what they're looking for, what they need, and what they want. Because we spend so much time going back to number 3 on the how, and the how is not that relevant. I don't really care about the how as a decision maker. It's going to be work, and that just was a reason to say, I'm not making a decision. What matters is I want what I want. Can you get me what I want? Like a 5-year-old, I said. 5-year language, grade or less. You have to recognize that marketing is iterative, which means you are going to be constantly fine-tuning, and it needs to be clear enough to create movement, clear enough, compelling enough to connect human to human. It is about being ready, not being polished in a vacuum and then going, ta-da, it's ready. Where are all the people who are ready to buy? Guys, my friends, marketing is not complicated. Marketing is about movement, and you are judged as a marketer about sales results. Like it or not, that is the reality. So you need to understand sales, and this has been your crash course to it. They don't care. The buyer, your client, doesn't care so much about the window dressing because creativity is a given. Movement is the measure. It is so important that you recognize it has to be specific, tangible, and think this way. You've got to meet a client who is searching, uncomfortable with a known problem that they need to solve because there's a gap in terms of I'm falling short of what I want. And I recognize I have to do some different actions to get there. You need to bump into that space. You need to understand that decision-making moment. And you need to talk to me in slow language, simple steps, and make yourself seem like a trusted resource to bet on. And I'm borrowing your confidence. You know where you're going. And I'm more importantly going to be judging this outcome, whether I get the result I wanted. That is just the lay of the landscape, my friends. So set yourself up to succeed. Understand how marketing connects to other things. It is not about the sales page. It is not about the sales proposal. It is not about the font and all of those things. The buyer, that's just window dressing. What the buyer is looking for is, can you get me what I want? In as little as friction as possible. Understanding there's friction going to be needed. And I want you to see me, talk to me, engage me. And when you do this, my marketing peeps, when you understand sales, you will have more retained clients. You will have better longevity. You will be given the grace of iteration and the time to keep fine-tuning. And if you don't know sales and you don't want to, because all of that just freaks you out, but you recognize the truth like a tuning fork. Yep, Christine, that's what's happening. I can win the deal, but I don't retain the deal. I feel like I'm being judged for something I didn't say I would deliver. All of that is normal. I see it every single day. My best advice, come talk to me. I have a great understanding. I have a unique skill set. I have been successful in marketing. I got kicked out of the team because I kept saying pretty is a given, so what? I then found myself in business development, a sales role. I've made $1 billion for other people. I know how to sell because I understand how to get people to move, and I can make an offer confidently that converts. And therefore, I get retained. I get kept at the table, and we keep iterating. And as part of that, we have to deliver what we promised. And we might absolutely want to fine-tune those expectations so that we're judged and measured by a fair brush. And that's when you need to understand what happens throughout the business org, what happens through the process. And that, my friends, is business ops. You need to understand not just the glossy, not just the moment of impact, but the actual result the customer or the client is getting. And when you do that, you will be hired, you'll be retained, you'll charge premiums. And my friends, that's how you build a beautifully storylined, boring business. And that's what I want for you. Business growth is elegantly simple. It is not as complicated as you're making it. But if you want to win and you want to see more success as a marketer, now you know what you need to focus on to create a better result. If you have questions, the invitation's on the table. Come find me. My direct email right now, get a pen and paper, hello@ChristineCampbellRapin.com. Very simple. My name is branded in this show. Come and talk to me because you need an advocate for the sales. You need an advocate for the buyer, and you need to bridge the movement. And that's what we in our team do exceptionally well. We guide clients to creating this storyline. We guide clients to the other side of the equation. And as a result, we win. And I want you to win. So come find me. That's my direct email. I look forward to connecting with you soon and seeing more sales success from your marketing efforts. We'll see you on our next episode, my friends. Until then, go ignite your client growth engine. It's go time. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit ChristineCampbellRapin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next